And one of the ways, sometimes what I see happen a lot of times is when people hear applied behavior analysis or ABA therapy, what they think of is discrete trial instruction. And so like a lot of people, when I work in schools or I'm working with a behavior analyst throughout the state, they'll go, well, this parent's asking for ABA. And what parents have seen sometimes is discrete trial instruction. And so we thought maybe we would demonstrate some of that so you can kind of see what that looks like. But discrete trial instruction, what you're really looking at is when we're thinking about teaching new behaviors, a lot of times there's a lot of things that go along with new behaviors, right? Think about tying your shoes. There's a ton of things that you have to learn to tie your shoes, right? And so a lot of times when we want to teach new behaviors, there's a lot of things that go with it. So what discrete trial instruction and what we see happen, and again, this is not applied behavior analysis, but this is something that falls under that science that is a science that really looks at changing and teaching new behaviors, is that you see if you break down things into discrete trials, a lot of times you can teach more skills, right? So if I could teach you, hey, I want to teach you that this is the number one, I can say touch one, you touch it, and I'm like, excellent, and I can reinforce. Well, then what tends to happen is the next time I tell you to touch one, you're going to touch it because you've been reinforced in the past. And so there's a lot of, when we're looking at the science of applied behavior analysis, a lot of what we see under discrete trial instruction is that helps teach a lot of new skills. So I just want you to be aware that if you hear parents say, well, it's sitting at the table and running those trials, that's discrete trial instruction. It's not applied behavior analysis. It's just one of those things that are under that big science realm. So you ready, Hannah? So I always tell parents is that when I'm running trials, I always ask parents to kind of be there and see it, and so they can understand it, because what you ultimately want to do is we tend to what I'm doing right now, over talk. And so what I really had to learn was when we look at discrete trial instruction, you want the trial to be discrete. Like they know exactly what you're asking them to do so that they can engage in that behavior so you can then reinforce it. And so when you start off with individuals, you want to start really, really low. So I don't want to say, okay, come to the table, sit down for 30 minutes. Because a child might not even be there. So you start pretty low. And so what Hannah and I have established is we're going to use a token system, and I'm going to show you how that works. But the main thing that you also want to do is you want to make sure that you start off with a reinforcer. And I often talk to parents and professionals about make sure you're also allowing choice in the day. Don't assume you know what's reinforcing to even your kid, or I had to tell me that as a teacher. I'd have a kid who loved Reese's Cups, and I'm like, yes, we can both eat them together, right? But that kid might have had Reese's Cups all weekend, or ate the bag before they got to school, or, that's all they've engaged with. So what you really want to make sure is that you're assessing in the moment what the child wants and what is a reinforcer. So Hannah, we kind of talked about this beforehand, but Hannah, what do you want to work for, a phone or crayons? Crayons? All right. So what I have is a little token thing right here. We're going to do 3. So I'm going to write, she's working for crayons at the top. And then I'm going to show you some quick little drills that we kind of work on, and if she gets them incorrect, what I do when she gets them incorrect. Hannah, can you find the vacuum? So that's an incorrect response. Yeah, find the vacuum. Excellent. Hannah, can you find the vacuum? Nice job. So I'm going to give her a check. Excellent. Can you do this? Fantastic, Hannah. Can you do this one? You are too smart. Excellent. You get crayons. So do you see, and you might be like, my kid's more advanced than that, but you could use that for any type of skill. But with discrete trial instruction, you may see things go like that. And one of the things is some people do 10 trials, some people intermix trials. I come from the philosophy of intermixing trials, so a lot of times I'll focus on some imitation skills, and some hierarchy of skills. But a lot of that looks at why intermixing skills might be beneficial is that say, for example, if you're not good at math and somebody's like, let's sit down and do math for an hour, right? Homework, for example, might be an issue with some of your kids. And so right when your kid hears math or science, I don't want to say math, people say that all the time, but, or chemistry or whatever, they hear that and what do? Oh, no, thank you, right? So what you may want to think about and what some of this instruction looks at is if the table is always the place where bad things happen, right? I'm going to avoid this like the devil, right? So a lot of times I tell teachers and parents in classrooms, good things should happen here too. So maybe if Play-Doh's a fun thing, it should happen here. Maybe some, marble machine should happen here. Good things should also, because if a kid always wants to leave a table and this is where you choose to work, right? Then they're going to be like, if I hear the word table, I'm going to my screaming voice, right? So what you want to start with is have reinforcement on the table. It's going to be quick trials at first. And I always tell parents, if you're going to work on homework, start with some easy things, right? When I used to work with parents with homework, I'd go, hey, do this, awesome, and give the kid a crayon. They'd be like, what? Those are 2 easy tasks for me, right? But if you start with, what's the 5 times 8, they're going to go, oh man, I'm going to get this wrong right away, right? So some of those principles talk about starting with easy things first and then working up to the harder so they can contact reinforcement.
Yeah, and you build up some momentum.
Exactly.
Just because they're already going, then they may keep on going.
Exactly.
Yeah.